Welcome. Just take a moment to settle in a seated position to begin with. And just take a moment to settle. Wherever you are, you might be sitting on a chair, on the floor, standing. Just take a moment to let your breath settle and bring your attention right here into the present moment. Gently close your eyes, noticing the connection between your feet, your legs, your sitting bones with the floor. And bring your attention into your breath. Noticing the movement of your breath in and out of your body. Notice your mind. Is your mind busy, distracted? See if you can almost feel like a detached observer, so as though you're stepping back a little from your thoughts, not getting caught up in the conversations and the stories, just letting yourself move back a little and watch those thoughts come and go. Just preparing yourself, grounding, becoming centered before we begin our physical practice, our asana practice. And as we move through our practice together today, just keep your attention here in the present moment as much as possible. So when you find your mind wandering, if you're getting distracted, perhaps you're noticing that you are quietly or loudly criticizing yourself. Perhaps you're getting caught up with old thoughts that go round and round in your head. Whatever it is, each time you notice yourself getting distracted from your practice, bring your attention back into any physical sensations that you can feel in your body without judgment. And this attention will ground you in the present moment, which is the only time that we have. And as we ground ourselves through our attention to the physical sensations, we also use our attention and our awareness of our breath to also keep us here in this present moment as we move through our practice. That's what's more important than whether you're doing some amazing acrobatic feats. Be here in the present moment. Be aware of your breath. As we move through our physical practice, please modify as you need to for your body. Anything that doesn't feel right, just don't do it. Do something different. Keep your awareness in your breath and your body. Move in some other way and then join back in when it's appropriate for you. Firstly, let's take a deep breath in. Bring your shoulders up near your ears. And then let your shoulders relax with a sigh. And again, breathing in. One more time. And roll your shoulders in one direction and back in the other direction. All right, so from here, let's come around onto all fours. So come onto your mat, and if your knees are a little bit cranky, you might want to Pop a blanket under your knees. So hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. Spine is in a neutral position. As you breathe in, gently lift your chin, look forward, tilt the top of your pelvis, draw your navel down toward the mat. As you breathe out, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone and arch your back up. And continue. With the breath in, gently lifting your chin. And don't lift your head up too much. You don't want to crunch into the back of your neck. As you breathe out, bring your chin in, tuck your tailbone and continue. Check that your fingers are spread, working your fingers, the rims of your palms onto the floor. Keep your shoulders nice and broad. Just begin to feel that lovely, steady, natural rhythm, feeling into the movement of your spine. Come back to a neutral position. Breathe in, lengthening through the crown, through the tailbone, and as you breathe out, gently moving to one side. So looking over your shoulder, back towards your hips, as if you're trying to see a bit of fluff on your pants. Breathe in, come back to center, lengthening, and breathe out, go the other way. Just continue moving with your breath, take your time. Your breath, your body, so find your rhythm. Noticing how you can get some space and movement into your ribs. And as you continue the practice, perhaps higher up your ribs. Coming back into a neutral position, keeping your chin tucked a little, the back of your neck is long. As you breathe in, just gently hinge forward a little, as if someone's got a little bit of your hair in the crown of your head and they're gently pulling you forward. And then as you breathe out, it's as if there's a bit of string attached to the tailbone, the coccyx, and you're drawing back a little. Breathe in, coming forward. Breathe out, going back. So really thinking about your spine. Imagine creating space between all the vertebrae in your spine as we stretch forward and stretch back. Back into a neutral position, and bring your attention into your pelvis and just start to do little circles with your pelvis. So see if you can isolate the movement into your pelvis. So this part of your body is moving in little circles. You're not moving your legs particularly, just a little bit of a movement. So the spine, the hips, pelvis are moving. Back in the other direction. So little circles in the other direction. So it's just a small movement. When you've done both directions, come back to a neutral position. Now imagine that you have a hula hoop around your body. The top of the hula hoop is on your back and the bottom of the hula hoop is on the floor. And we're going to see if we can touch our body to the whole inside of that hula hoop. So think about how you can move your body and touch the whole inside of that circle. And back in the other direction. Come back to a neutral position. Now, depending on whether this works for your knees, take your knees wide and bring your buttocks back to your heels. Stretch your arms forward and drop your chest to the floor. Now you can adjust your arms if you like. You might bring your hands back close to your head if it's too strong through your shoulders. You might, if you can't rest your forehead on the floor, you might place your hands one on top of the other. Perhaps your fists one on top of the other. If it's too strong for your knees, then you might keep your thighs perpendicular and just drop down. And then breathe in, lift up onto all fours. So from here we're going to come up and down into downward dog a little, increasing the amount of time we hold the position. Now if downward dog is too strong, if it's not an option for you either because of maybe wrists or elbows or shoulders, then you might continue your cat-cow pose and basically go through what we've just done then. Or for you, if it's particularly if it's your wrists, it might be that doing downward dog on your forearms will work for you. So when you're ready, toes are tucked, breathe in, breathe out, lift your knees off the floor, take your hips really high as you can, and keep your heels high. Bring your attention to your hands, work your fingers and the rims of your palms into the mat. Pressing into the ball of the thumb to rotate the forearms in, and the upper part of the arms are rolling out to keep your shoulders broad. Keep your hips high and draw your chest back towards your thighs. And then from here, keeping your back nice and straight, just gently begin to draw your heels toward the floor. Now they may not be on the floor, they're just coming in that direction. And breathe in, bring your knees onto the floor, gently looking up, coming into cow pose. Breath out, coming back into downward dog. This time stay here for 2 full breaths. And it's a breath in that brings your knees onto the floor, cow pose. Breath out, lifting up. Stay here now for 3 breaths. Breath in, bringing your knees to the floor, looking up, tailbone up. Breath out, downward dog. Let's stay here for 4 full breaths. Keep broadening through your collarbones, working into your hands and fingers. You might like to bring one knee forward and work gently through the other heel just for a breath. And then the same on the other side for a breath. And from here, bend your knees, look forward and either walk your way through or step, feet together in front, hands on your shins, lift your chest and look forward. Breath out, come down into your standing forward bend and breathing in, lifting all the way up. Breath out, arms down by your side. So coming into Tadasana. So your feet are either together or hip distance apart. So this is hip distance, not this, no, not this, this distance. So see what feels better for you. Lift your toes up, spread them out, gently place your feet down onto the mat and gently rock forward and back. Feel the weight even over the soles of your feet. And then bring your attention through your body from the soles of your feet all the way to the crown of your head. As you do so, gently engaging through the muscles of the body. So it's like you're hugging the muscles onto the bones of your body. So just take a moment to scan through your body as you do that. And gently close your eyes. Just notice if there's any sense of movement in your body. Notice the natural rhythm of your breath. And then come to the front of your mat if you're not there already, and take your feet hip distance apart. We're going to step back into a warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1 pose. As we do this, you take one foot back about a metre, perhaps a little more than a metre, and you keep your feet hip distance apart on this short edge of the mat. Hands to your heart. Let's step the right foot back and bring the heel in toward the centre of the mat a little. You can see my back foot is on a bit of an angle. My hips are aligned to the short edge of the mat. So I'm drawing my right hip forward as I work into the right foot, and I'm drawing my left hip back as I work into that front foot. Bring your arms down by your side. Some of you will be familiar with this sequence, so you can join in with me. If you are not familiar, then just watch for 1 or 2 rounds and then you can join in then. So we'll do five repetitions. So as we breathe in, the arms come up and the front knee bends. As we breathe out, bring your chest forward, hands to the floor, drop your head and look back at that back foot. With the breath in, we push into the front foot. That gives the lift to our torso, bringing our arms up. Breath out, arms down, knee straightens. And again, breathe in, arms up, knee bends. Breath out, come forward. Now, if it's too strong, bringing your hands to the floor, you can bring your hands to your thigh and just keep your chest and head parallel with the floor. As you breathe in, pushing into that front foot, lifting up. Breath out, arms down, legs straight. 3 more times. Breathe in. Breath out. Breath in, legs still stays bent. And arms down. In. One more time. And then step that right foot forward. Again, coming back into Tadasana. Look a way to even through both feet before we move anywhere else. Then bring your hands to your heart and take your left foot back. Really doesn't matter which foot you're doing first, just whatever's comfortable for you. So that back heel is in a little. Arms by your side. Breathe in, arms up. Sorry, knee bends at the same time. Breath out, hinge forward. Breathe in, lift up. Breath out, arms down. If you've got a larger bust or abdomen, you can angle yourself a little as you come forward to bring your chest beside your leg rather than on top. So we're doing 5 times on this side. And if you're working with a shoulder injury, then you need to find the action for your arms that's suitable. So you may not be bringing your arms up above your head, you might be bringing them out in front of you. So remember to modify for your body. And I'm not very good at counting. I think that was 5. Step forward, finish. If you're not up to 5, just finish as you're ready. Coming to the front of your mat in Tadasana. Just take a moment. Let your body settle. Turn your palms, spread your fingers as you breathe in. Bring your arms up. Bring your palms together, arms by your ears again. You need to modify for your arms. Just bring them to a position that works for your shoulders, for your body. If your arms are okay up here, you can bring your arms by your ears. You might like to interlace your fingers, thumbs cross, or just have your palms pressing together. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out. Let's move to the right. So keep the right side of your body open and lengthen through the left. The emphasis is on the upward motion rather than how far you go to the side. As you breathe, opening into the side of your body. Breathe in, come back up. And gently as you breathe out, move to the other side. Breathe in, come back up, interlace your fingers, press your palms up, draw your shoulder blades down your back. And then from here you might begin to lift your heels up off the floor. You might only just lift them off a millimetre or two, that's okay, just focus on what you can do. Don't worry about what you can't do. And gently lower your heels and release your arms down to your side. Bring your arms up by your side and press through the palms of your hands. So you're drawing your fingertips back towards you, pressing through the heel of your hand. And one of my hands is off the screen, but that's okay. I think you know what I mean. So we're really working through the heel of the hand. So if my arms are really relaxed, you can see that my triceps are not engaged. If I press actively through the heel of the hand, then it's not relaxed like that. So if you're not sure, later just have a look in the mirror and practice that engaging and relaxing, and you'll feel the difference. So we want to be engaged as we do this. We're going to start doing little circles in one direction, and back in the other direction. Bring your arms out in front, and again, little circles. Keep your triceps engaged, so press through the heel of the hand, pull the fingertips back towards you. And then take your arms back as far as you can. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And again, little circles. And back in the other direction. Bring your arms level with your shoulders. And now we're going to do 3 big, slow circles in one direction. And then back in the other direction. And then very slowly release your arms down by your side and let them hang. Good. Okay. So we're just going to move into a little balance. Bring your hands to your heart. we've got a couple of options for the position of our feet here, depending on how challenging you'd like to make this balance. So you might bring the heel to the inner aspect of the opposite ankle, or you might bring your foot across the shin. If you need to touch for balance, you just touch your toenails rather than the ball of the foot, and then you just can lift off as you need to quite easily. You might come into your modified tree pose. So let's pick one of those options. As you're ready, gently, doesn't matter which leg you do first, bend the knee and bring the foot into whatever position you're coming into. And find a point to rest your gaze, your drishti. It's like you're looking straight through whatever it is that you have your gaze fixed on. And if you're feeling quite steady, you might begin to squint your eyes and blur your focal point, or perhaps close your eyes altogether, noticing how this affects your balance. And then breathe out. Bring that foot down. Get the weight even through both feet. And then as you're ready, coming into the other side. And bringing that foot down onto the floor. Bring your arms down by your side. And from the front of your mat, we'll come down onto the floor, just coming through a little series of movements to come to be seated on the floor. If you need to get there in a different manner, please feel free. As you breathe in, reach up. And breath out, hinge forward into our standing forward bend. Lifting up into a half standing forward bend. Breath out, bend your knees, hands to the floor. You can step back onto all fours or into downward dog. Bend your knees and look forward. You can either jump, walk or step through and come back into a seated position on your mat. And have your, take the flesh of your buttocks out from underneath your sit bones so that you can tilt your pelvis forward a little. And dorsiflex your feet. Bring your hands lightly onto the floor beside you. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And bend your left knee and place it outside your right thigh. And see if you can stand on your foot. If you need to, you can bring your hands up onto your shin to help you. Lengthen through your spine. Arms up in cactus. Breathe in, lengthen through the crown of the head. As you breathe out, twisting toward the left, so toward the bent leg. Bring the left fingertips to the floor behind you and wrap the other arm, the right arm, around the left shin. Turn and look over your shoulder. Every breath in, we're lengthening. Every breath out, we just move gently into the space we've created with our breath. With the right foot dorsiflexor engaging through the muscles of both legs. And releasing back around. Release that leg, bend the other knee, foot to the floor, lengthen, arms up, breathe in, lengthen, breathe out, twist, wrap. Fingertips behind us are to support the body so that we're not leaning back. So your hands quite close to the back of the body. Breathing in, lengthening. Breathing out, twisting. And releasing back around. Alright, so bring your arms up in the air. Dorsiflex your feet, working the muscles in your legs, and start to curl your body down. As you come down, bring your arms forward. Now you might curl and come all the way down onto the floor. Or perhaps you might stop and hover a little bit, take your legs up. And just have a couple of breaths here. And then lower down onto the floor. And bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, a little wider than hip distance. Bring your arms out as if you're on a cross. And as you breathe out, just relax your knees down to one side and look in the opposite direction. If you haven't got room, which I'm running into things here, you can just bend your elbows and have your arms in cactus position, which is this position. Breathe in, bring your knees back to centre, and then as you're ready, dropping the knees down in the other direction. And then bring your knees back up to centre. Bring your knees into your chest, hands on your shins. Gently squeeze your knees into your chest. Do a squeeze and release, and then gently rock from side to side. And then touch your feet to the floor, touch the bottoms of your feet together and let your knees drop out to the side, arms by your side. And then very gently move your head from side to side. Just notice any tension, just releasing and letting go. And then bring your knees back together and just come down onto the floor, ready for your relaxation. Now, if you've got an eye cushion, pop your eye cushion over your eyes. If you're likely to be cold, pop something over the top of you so that you don't have to move once we get there, or have a blanket or something close by. It's cool here at the moment, but it might be hot where you are. So just come down onto your mat on the floor. If you find getting onto the floor difficult, you've been practicing in your chair, then you might lie in your bed. Just try not to go to sleep. If you find it a strain through your back, rather than having your knees bent and your feet on the floor, see if you've got a pillow or something to pop under your thighs to take that strain out of your back. And lower yourself down if you're not already there. Take the time to make your body really settled on the floor. Gently close your eyes. And feel all the points of contact between your body and the floor. And bring your attention from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. Until you feel your whole body relaxed and heavy on the floor. So notice the natural rhythm of your breath. Gradually beginning to deepen your breath. And bring some gentle movement into your body. Stretching, rolling onto one side. And coming up into a seated position. And just take a moment in your seated position to steady your breath. And please continue to sit quietly, really enjoying any sense of quiet and calm that you can feel within after our practice together. So you can sit as long as you like. Let's just do 3 rounds of Om together. Namaste. I hope you have a very happy day. Thank you for joining me.